Hello everybody and welcome back to the next episode of Kerbal Space Program .25. So if you take a look here, we've got our probe, the Moho Explorer Mark II. Actually, it's not a probe, it's actually a lander that's on the surface of Moho on the sun side currently. Just melting away at the rock and iron core that I assume is left of this tiny little planet, little planetoid. And in orbit around it we have the Mark II probe. This is the probe that's in orbit, solitary orbit. A nice parking orbit above the surface, approximately 62,000 meters above. So we're going to go ahead and just pick up right where we left off. We landed in this kind of little crater here, so let's go ahead and fly that mission. So it's been a couple days since I played, and I've been sitting here thinking, I got a bad feeling about this. I mean, if you take a look, we barely have any fuel left in here. And we've got these outer tanks here. I am not sure if that's going to be enough to break the bonds of this little planet's gravity, but we're gonna die trying. So now that we've landed, we could do a whole lot of science, lots of science. So we're gonna go ahead and observe the materials bay. The materials bay bakes in the heat of Moho's surface. It appears that the trace elements are reacting to the samples contained within. We get a nice 250, and yeah, that makes sense. Pretty much everything would just be basically melting right now, being this close to the sun. Do the seismic. 0.273 Gs is telling us how many Gs are here right now. And we will log. Ooh, overwrite the... Alright, so what's actually in there? Oh, did we do all this already? We might have done this all already. Yep, we did. How silly of me. Like I said, it's been a few days since I played this game, so I'm not really sure what we have and haven't done. Let's do the mystery goo. We observe it. Very good. We get 100 signs from that. So that's right. All we have to do, really, is put the lights on for effect. Let's get the guys out. Let's get Thromden. You'll be the first Kerbal on the surface of Moho, the closest planet to the star. And he falls. Oh, that's funny. Let's do a gravity check. So this planet is, it looks like it's a little lighter than Mars, or Duna rather, excuse me. A little lighter than Duna, but not quite as light as the moon. Kind of jet around here. Our jets do work. Not quite as efficiently, but they do work. So let's get him out here, and let's go ahead and plant that flag. There he goes. Nice little NASA flag right there. So we'll call this Thromden. I think that's his name. On Moho. Alright, let's take that surface sample. Ground is made up of old lava flows, suggesting periods of intense volcanic activity. We get 300 signs for that. And the EVA, it's getting very hot in here. So take off all your space suits. Only don't, because you'll probably die immediately. But this is not bad. You know? Let's go back. Let's get Bill out of there now. Get Bill coming down the ladder, so he can play also and stretch his Kerbally legs. Slightly better descension of the ladder than Thromden there. He kind of fell. This is us. There's our hero shot right there. That's pretty nice. You can view the sun from way up here. Well, that's exciting. Let's do a little time warping and see just how slowly Moho rotates. Yeah, we're at 100 times, 1,000 times, and it's barely moving. There's the ship speeding around there, but as you can see, yeah, Moho just rotates very, very slowly. Very much like our own Mercury. I think I said this in a different episode, is that when astronomers first detected Mercury, they thought it was tidally locked to the sun, but when in reality it just has a very, very slow rotation. And That's actually dust moving across the surface. Ah, check that out, just like on Duna. Of course, I'm not sure that'd be possible in a vacuum. I don't know if that would actually work that way. Actually, that is a freaking cool picture right there. That's a cool photo. Just trying to get the best screenshots here. Nice. Alright. Let's get this thing under the horizon. I kind of want to see what night looks like on Moho. Or a sunset on Moho. As the shadows get long. There we are. The Kerbals recede into utter darkness. And I think the battery's just drained. Let's see. Yeah, I think our batteries are out. Where are we? Here we are. Electric charge is 0. That's it. That drained really fast. I can't believe that drained so fast. Oh, probably because it just takes so darn long. But that's okay, not to fear. We have our solar panels. As soon as we get this thing charged back up again, as soon as the sun comes up, we'll be good to go. So let's see what a sunrise looks like. Just, wow. It just takes forever. It probably like almost orbits quicker than it does rotate. That's just craziness. Yeah, look at that. It's like barely catching the sun. It's like revolving faster than it's rotating. That's unbelievable. Oh, and there's the sun coming up. Charged right back up again. Very nice. That was very interesting. Yeah, that's something else. It like barely has a chance to get over here because it's constantly moving around this way. How interesting. Very intriguing. Alright, well anyways. That was fun. I think it's time to get these guys back into their spacecraft, and we're going to attempt to launch this thing. However, I'm feeling like a maybe 40% chance, maybe 30% chance getting these guys off this planet. Just because I don't think we have enough Delta V, to be honest with you. This should have been probably twice as much, or these should have been bigger. Shoulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. But we're going to try anyway. We're going to give it our darndest try. Worst comes to worst, we can land some kind of refueler down here. That's why I opened this docking shield here, so we can attempt to have something land and dock onto it and give it more fuel. But for now, I think we're going to try this anyways. So just for, like, I don't know, a story's sake, we're going to say that this attempt is going to be a simulation, because we don't want that to be real life and then they crash and they die, and you know, we don't want that to happen in our story here. So the Kerbals are going to run a simulation in which they try to escape the gravity of the planet. But let's see. Wait till the ship gets to right about here, maybe a little bit further. Probably something like this. There, it's coming overhead, and we're going to turn our ship to the 90, which is that way. So here we go. Easily going to just turn it over as soon as we can. Well, this isn't too bad, actually. Just last a little more. Oh wow, maybe we'll do it. Maybe it'll be alright. Can you imagine how cool that would be? please have enough fuel. Let's see, where would they meet up? They'd meet up right about there-ish. $18 kilometers apart. Yeah, that's plenty. Oh my gosh, we're gonna be alright. We're gonna be okay, guys. Wow, I was so worried. You have no idea. Like, I was sitting there in like the day or two that I didn't record. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not gonna have enough fuel. It's gonna suck. And my fans are gonna think that I suck, and it's gonna be horrible. Now, you guys wouldn't think that, right? Right? You'd still think I'm awesome? Alright, anyways. Let's get this guy up here. So as you can see, we're just slowly meeting up with this. Target at position 1, so we're going to be a little behind it. Looks like we kind of left a little late. I think that's what happened. So it's going to blow right by us a little bit, but I wonder if we could just, what if we just do, yeah, we're in target mode, right? What if we do this? We'll do it like a standard rendezvous instead of doing it like with maneuver nodes. I'm just curious. Right? Like, what if we did this? Slow it down. Right? Basically, straight down to 0. I think I like this way better, actually. And we're gonna now point, now that we're pretty much dead stopped, we're just gonna get it right down to 0. Okay, good. Okay, now we're, yeah, that's an orbit. Alright. Oh, this works out way better. So now we're just going to point at the target. We have 609 meters per second of fuel left, so we're not going to burn quite aggressively. We're just going to give little bursts towards the target there. We'll push towards it at 10 meters per second. There we go. So we are now heading straight at it, and it says we're going to meet up in 7 kilometers. Let's get it down a little bit more, because we can do it. We can do it. We can do this. Let's get it right down as close as we can to 0. Maybe 1.5 we'll go with. Actually, we'll go right there. Alright. Now we just have to turn around and burn off that velocity when we get back there. Is it possible that I've been doing these rendezvous the wrong way the whole time? I mean, this was way easier than getting in orbit and waiting for it to line up. This is actually pretty easier. That works out. I'm just like super excited that I was able to get off the planet. I was so worried about that. I'm gonna turn the lights off. Fully charged up. We got all the science we could do, right? Yep. We're loaded with a full pack of science. So all we gotta do is just wait until we catch up on it a little bit. So just heading off in that general direction. See, it's drifting that way because we pointed our ship that way, but that's how that works. That's how it goes. Still gonna get pretty close to it. In fact, it's coming up. So we're gonna get ready to I'm just gonna try to push this retrograde up by pointing on the opposite side of it. See, I'm just kind of pushing it. Give it a little nudge towards the anti-target reticle, which means that we should be now again heading straight towards it at 1.9 meters per second, which means we're gonna meet up closer, a little closer than we are now. Let's actually just give it a little burst, though. Give it a little burst, just to really make sure we get there. Yeah, 0.4. It's getting even better. Yeah, that's fine. That's gonna do it. We're gonna meet up right with it. That's pretty good. So you can see now it's coming in. It's only about 1,100 meters away. We could probably almost see it. Let's see, can we switch to it? Yeah, we can actually. Alright. Cool, and there's us coming right straight for it. So we'll switch back. And it looks like it's still pretty much sitting in a north-south type of orientation. We'll just realign it with that reticle there. And we'll just come in here a little closer. It's just a waiting game. Space is big. I just find it insane that we're both going this way around the planet, yet at the same time we're heading towards each other. It's just, I find that insane. It's just mind-blowing. I can't believe it sometimes. You know, us Earthlings here on Earth can't possibly perceive of any kind of motion like this until we, you know, get off the planet. And that's why I love this game too. It kind of just opens your eyes to how, like, the universe is. You know, what do we know from down here on Earth? We don't really know a whole lot, but once you get into space, you can kind of see how, you know, the universe really is. Science, everybody. Support the sciences. Do it. Alright, anyways, we're coming in here. Getting in there a little bit closer. I'm going to go down to regular time warp, and again, I'm just going to nudge this thing. Just going to give it a little nudge. There we are. Just to correct our trajectory, or vector. Coming at it very slowly. 1.2 meters per second. Which is okay. That's fine. Actually heading towards the night side now, so we gotta get this docking done pretty quickly. But we have lights, so actually it's probably alright. Yeah, it's probably okay. Alright. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the docking with the probe. Because this thing doesn't have any sort of RCS, so it's just going to make things a little difficult. Oop. We're heading that way now. That's not quite what I wanted. We'll just give this a little touch. There. Okay. And yes, I'm going to point this thing north. And I'm going to just put the lights on just so we can see what's going on. And now I'm going to tab over. Here we are. Line this thing up with north again. Go into chase mode, because it is always better to do rendezvous in chase mode, just so we can see which way we're going. So I'm going to press the I key, and we're a little off balance. That's why it's rocking back and forth. But basically we're going to want to move downwards. And it looks like this thing's drifting to the right, so we're also going to push the L key just to stop it from drifting. So L and I will make us go down. And I'm also going to push the N key because it looks like we're going to crash right on top of it. Don't want that to happen. It's good for N. I'm going to press H to cancel N. I'm also going to press K to cancel the I. And I'm going to press J just to cancel the L. That's what it's really all about. It's about motions and then canceling the motions. I'm also just going to rotate this just to line up, just because my space OCD will kick in if these two engines aren't lined up. Alright. Now we just gotta basically press... Actually, let's set this as the target. That's better. Ah, there, we're pretty much lined up. All we gotta do is hit H, basically, to move towards it. Maybe a little L. Maybe a little K. There we are. And that looks like it'll get us there. Yes, I think so. It's a little bit funny. That might do it right there. Looks like we're a little high. We'll press I. Alright. It's just a standard docking procedure, guys. Only we're using bigger Clampetrons. The Clampetron Senior. Press L a little bit and just turn it this way. Press the other way. We're getting in there. N. Oop. K. We came a little low. There we go. Turn off the SAS. Locked in. Sweet. And we lined up pretty well with the engines. I'm happy with that. Alright. That was pretty successful, if I do say so myself. I tell you what, since it's about time, I think we can cut this episode short. I feel good. We've reconnected the ships, but before we actually cut it off, let me see. How much fuel do we have left? We're going to take this fuel and we're going to convert it back to this tank. Not that it's a whole lot of fuel to go off of anyway, but it's something. And there's no fuel left in here. So we're going to... Basically, next episode, we're going to do a fuel check. We have precisely total Delta V 1960. I don't think that's going to be enough to get us back home, if you want my honest opinion. Let's take a look. We want to hit Kerbin just for a test. Let's see. We're going to want to push out on the dark side because we're going to want to make a prograde burn here along the orbit. Now, it's not going to meet up precisely with Kerbin right now just because we're just doing a Delta V test. No. Yeah, I see it's already way over. We only have 1,900 and it's going to cost about 2,000. So what this means is we are going to have to send a refueler out here to Moho and basically repeat the Moho mission with a robotic refueler. But that's not a big deal because we know that we can get here just fine, and we know that we can make a circular orbit around the equator. We know we have the launcher capable of doing it. It's just changing the payload now. We have to get a payload that's going to be a refueling payload. Just to meet up with this, it'll be another standard rendezvous and dock. We'll open the docking shield and we'll connect it up. We'll refuel this entire ship, probably everything, just in case. And then we will get these guys home. So next episode, look forward to us rebuilding a refueler. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you then.